Economy. So General Studies paper 3 comprises economy, agriculture, science, technology, environment, internal security, disaster management. So the economy part of the question of the chapter, economy part of GS3, usually it carries sometimes 70 to 80 marks. Now, as I said in an earlier video, for economy, it is best to refer to the economic survey, latest economic survey 1920, both the volumes, volume 1, volume 2, and volume 1, volume 2 will help you for the economy part, agriculture part, and environment. They're all current events issue related. And as I said, you need not waste time reading the whole economic survey end to end. Go to the conclusion part, go to the summary part. So by quoting from the economic survey, by writing your answers from the economic survey, you stand a better chance compared to the others. So today we take up a unit in economy. This is regarding the performance of the banking sector, issues related to banking. Now the nationalization of banks took place in 1969. Recently, we celebrated the 50th anniversary of the bank nationalization. So just read the question. It is not by augmenting the capital of the country, but by rendering a greater part of that capital active and productive. So banks will have to play a dominant role in the economy of the country. Examine in the context of the 50th anniversary of bank nationalization. First, we start with the introduction. See, the 50th anniversary of bank nationalization has raised several issues. In the first instance, if we compare the size of the banking sector to the other countries, like you see a small country like Sweden and Switzerland, their banking, the size of the banking industry is much large compared to that of India. Now, India, you compare the size, you compare the development, you compare the population. If you take these parameters, the size of the banking industry is very small in India. Now, for India to become a $5 trillion economy, we require 8 Indian banks to come in the top 100 globally. Right now, not even one bank has come in the top 100. Nationalization. See, nationalization, it is nearly 50 years of nationalization. Nationalization has helped. It has helped reach rural areas and expansion of rural credit. Now, in 2019, we saw the collective loss amount incurred by the public sector banks in the range of 66,000 crores and a non-performing asset of 7.4 lakh crores. So, with this introduction, we go into the role played by the banking sector and what are the issues which are preventing the banks from playing a dominant role in the economy. The first thing would be the role of the financial technology. Before I go into that, see what happens, why we require a thriving bank sector. You take the private banks after the era of liberalization, large number of private banks came up. How are they thriving and why these public sector banks are not thriving? It is because the public sector banks are stuck in bureaucratic rigmarole, and you see the management of these banks. They are scared of taking risks in lending or in renegotiating, and the top officials fear for harassment later on or raids by the vigilance, whatever. So the public sector banks, the top management is stuck in the bureaucratic rigmarole. Issues of concern. In issues of concern, the first thing I would like to mention is Now, see the way the public sector banks are functioning. Now they employ management information system (MIS) and reporting. For everything they have used MIS, but when it comes to information on loans, everything is done manually. And once everything is done manually as far as loans is concerned, it leads to inefficiency, it leads to fraud, and it leads to defaulting. See, I'm quoting the Economic Survey 1920. The Economic Survey 1920, in the chapter on banking, it clearly says that unless the public sector banks employ financial technology to review outdated business, they cannot function properly. And why should they apply fintech, that is financial technology? Why they should apply so that they can have low cost strategies and they can become efficient. Now the second thing would be the banking sector faces high operative costs. And I told you the decision making is bureaucratic in nature. A lot of factors go into decision making, which is often subjective. And the public sector banks are unable to screen high corporate borrowers. Now, they are not seeing the prospect of the borrower returning the amount, and they are not seeing the value of their collateral. It is all done in an ad hoc manner. So this is another problem faced by the public sector banks. The third thing would be all public sector banks need to pool their data. Why we require this is once the data is pooled in, when all the information is shared by all the public sector banks, it will reduce the costs of screening, it will reduce and better monitoring. Now, economies of scale. Once the data is pooled in by all PSBs, there will be economies of scale, and you can monitor corporate borrowers. The next thing would be you see the way the recruitment happens in the banks. So the recruitment is not done in a proper manner, and you're not getting the best talent. So what has to be done is you'll have to get now if you want to get MBAs, you want to get the best talent, there is need for lateral entry, like the level of joint secretary in certain departments. The government has agreed to the concept of lateral entry into the civil service, where the joint secretary comes from outside. So why can't we have a similar thing here also in the banking? When I say need for talent, best talent, I mean lateral entry with domain skills in technology, data science, finance, economy. So you really need to get the best talent so that the banking sector improves, so that it becomes more efficient. One more suggestion would be, why can't you have an employee's stake in the public sector bank? Now the employee, he is being paid after that he gets pension. Now he will not have any interest in it becomes another routine organization like any other government organization. So what the second volume 2 of the economic survey, what it suggests, you have an employee stake. So you transfer some amount to the employee for his best performance. So once you transfer certain amount to him, so it will be an initiative. The employee will start working with there will be good performance on the part of the employee, and the employee will give his best. So this ESOP option, if extended to the bank employees, will help in improving productivity, and incentivizing performance will help in the overall performance of the bank. Finally, what I would like to mention is, see, like in the government, we have had a lot of committees which went into the functioning of the public sector banks. We had the Narsimhan committee, we had the PJ Naik committee. So these committees have made a lot of recommendations for the improvement for the functioning of the public sector banks. As usual, all the recommendations are kept in cold storage. Like see, if you see the second ARC committee headed by Mr. Veerap Moily made far-reaching recommendations on the functioning of the civil service. But for reasons best known, the government has not acted on the recommendations. A similar fate also has fallen on the banking sector. So unless there is time-bound implementation of the banking committee recommendations, the banking system cannot be cleaned up. So finally, for answering a question relating to the evaluating the functioning of the banks in the context of their 50th anniversary, with an introduction, you say that the banking sector compared to the other development standards, the population, it is very small compared to say Sweden or Switzerland. And for India to become a $5 trillion economy, the banking sector has to change. Then we also spoke of the collective loss and the NPA. Now, in the context of the 50th anniversary of bank nationalization, we suggested certain measures for improving the performance of the banks. First, we spoke of financial technology to review outdated business. Then we spoke of high operating costs. Then how data pooling by all public sector banks will help in resource mobilization, sharing of data. Then employee stake options in PSBs will promote employee productivity and give them incentive to perform better. Then we also suggested how talent should be outsourced, especially at the middle levels and top levels. Like we gave the example of the current system adopted by the government at the level of joint secretary, where the top level joint secretary, certain departments have permitted lateral entry. So similarly, we require lateral entry at the middle management and top level managements of banking to bring in the best talent. Finally, I concluded my answer by speaking about the time-bound implementation of committee recommendations like the PJ Naik committee, the Narsimham committee, which have made far-reaching recommendations on the banking sector. So unless all these things are tackled in unison, the banking sector cannot play a dominant role in development.